In this video, I want to break down the 5 habits that are stopping you from getting money. I'm well suited to teach you this because over the last few years, I've built several multi-8-figure businesses and I've coached literally thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs. Many of them went on to build 7-figure businesses. Here are the things that I've seen stopping people from actually accomplishing the goals and how you can prevent meeting a similar fate. If you do this right, it will smooth out the path that you take on your road to riches. Not saying it's going to be easy, but it will be easier because you'll avoid a lot of the pitfalls. If you fail to follow these rules that I'm going to lay down, you're going to set yourself up for a great deal of misfortune. You're probably going to end up poor and alone. And if you're not alone, you're going to be with whatever woman or female human-like creature who will accept your broke ass. In my experience, the highest quality women don't like dealing with broke boys, poor boys, or men who are staggering around the poverty line if they don't have to. While me and the homies kick it with our high quality women, you're going to have to deal with the leftovers, the creatures that are left over who crawl through the night. Because 50% of marriages end in divorces, you have a 50% chance of this creature divorcing you, taking half your money and your children from you. I don't want you to end up in that fate. So follow these motherfucking rules. The first habit that's stopping you from getting to the money is wasting time. I am astonished by how much time the average person wastes. And because you waste time, you waste your potential. The average person is walking around with so much potential that's untapped, and it will remain untapped because they're not using their most valuable resource, which is time. You gotta learn to master it and use it to your advantage. And every week, there are 168 hours. Everybody's got the same 168 hours, but a lot of you guys aren't using them effectively because you're squandering a lot of your time with bullshit as opposed to deploying that time against your goals. The majority of your time is filled up with vices, partying, smoking, drinking, chasing hoes, just all the vices, right? So the first thing you need to do to get more time is to eliminate the vices. If you can eliminate the vices, you're going to have way more time to deploy against your goals. Because a lot of people will be like, oh, I don't want to work hard because I still got to spend time with my family, or I still got to enjoy life, right? But these vices are not helping you enjoy life. They're limiting your potential, and you will never, ever reach your full potential if these vices are monopolizing your time. So the first thing we have to do is eliminate the vices, because you'll have more time and you'll have less distraction, right? You'll have more energy and more mental bandwidth because you'll have these vices taking up your time. Make a list of all the vices that you engage in that are preventing you from accomplishing your goals. And it's very important. You have to eliminate them. Right? It's not, oh, I'll do it sometimes. I'll do it every once in a while. No, that's bitch shit. You got to draw a line in the sand. When I stopped drinking, I just said, hey, not drinking no more. 10 years ago, when I stopped smoking weed, I said, hey, man, this shit is slowing me down. It's stopping me from reaching my potential. And I just stopped 100%. Not sometimes, not on special occasions, not on fucking 420 or Bob Marley's birthday, or when there's a Scooby-Doo marathon on, or whatever you guys decide you want to smoke weed. I just quit 100%. And the reason quitting is better than doing it sometimes is because when you engage in these things sometimes, it increases the cravings, because now you tease yourself with this shit and now you want it more. It's not like you treat yourself sometimes or you everything in moderation. No. What happens is you actually give up, right? And you have to start over. You were doing great. You were on the path, and then you got off the path. Now you got to get back on, and it becomes more difficult. But once you quit, it's like after a certain amount of time, the cravings go away, right? How do you stop drinking? You just stop. It's going to be difficult at first, and then you get used to it and the cravings go away. Same thing with smoking weed. Same thing with any other vices that you're trying to abstain from, right? I don't do any recreational drugs, none of the bullshit. If I do it once, I'm going to have that craving again. And also, it depletes your dopamine. So you need dopamine in order to attack your goals, right? Dopamine gives you energy. What it is when people say there's a dopamine spike, that's not really an accurate way to assess it. Really is you have an available pool of dopamine. Think about this as like your dopamine trough or some shit, right? So you got all this dopamine, and then you use your dopamine on the vices. The vices deplete your dopamine. But what happens is after you engage in one of these vices, you end up with less dopamine than you had before. And that's why after an all-night rager, or whatever the kids are calling it, right? It's more difficult the next day to do something boring. Like if you were out smoking weed, getting drunk, fucking random people all night, You're going to wake up tomorrow and do accounting for your business, right? You're not going to have as much dopamine to do it, right? Dopamine fuels ambition, but you'll have less of it because devices cause those dopamine spike, and then you're left below baseline. Dopamine will replenish with rest and time. However, what happens is people keep engaging in these vices because they're addictive, right? And they never get their dopamine levels to go back to baseline. And this is where people end up lacking motivation. This is why vices are so sinister. They waste your time and then they rob you of your motivation, right? I have a whole video on it that you can check out about dopamine, but it's very important. You got to manage your dopamine levels. And you can't be spiking them, especially with unnatural vices like drugs and alcohol. So first thing you're going to do is going to quit your vices. Just 100%. Just stop doing them. And this is delayed gratification. If you want to do this shit like way later in life, after you're rich and successful and accomplish your goals, hey, that's fine. And if you do it, you can get a better version of it. For example, if I wanted to smoke weed now, I can get the best weed available on earth because I'm rich and I got connections. I can get the best weed instead of that shit with sticks and seeds that y'all smoking. If I wanted to get drunk, I ain't drinking Paul Masson or some fucking cheap alcohol. I can go get the best shit, at somewhere where I don't drink, right? A better example is, when I was first really on my grind to make my first million, I stopped watching like basketball. I stopped watching sports, and I love basketball and football. You knew that because I was black, and I stopped watching it. I needed to concentrate. I needed to devote that time towards my goals. Now I go to basketball games. I go to games, and when I go, I sit courtside. My boy, he's got season tickets at a suite, so we pull up to the suite. You can have a better version of it once you're successful. If you can delay gratification, you have a better version of it. If one of your vices is women, do you think you can get better women once you accomplish your goals? You can't even get around the fucking hottest women in the world if you broke. Yeah, you can fuck a New Jersey 7 if you broke, but you want to be out here fucking Miami 9s and 10s, you ain't even got access to these hoes unless you got a certain kind of status, unless you accomplish something. Once you make it, you can fuck better bitches if you can delay gratification. But you wasting your time and your dopamine on sixes, man. Another part of wasting time is you actually have to use your time more effectively. Now remember, people say, I don't have time, but there's 168 hours in every week. Probably not using your time more effectively. So you got to plan every hour of your day in your calendar. Let me show you what my calendar looks like, right? Because I got some really aggressive goals. Here's my calendar. Every hour of every day is accounted for. I got my wake up time, what I'm going to do as soon as I wake up, all my workouts, what I'm going to do every hour. Like, look at today. Right now, Victory Talk Podcast. I'm right here. But there was only like a little bit of white space in the calendar, and I live out my calendar. And this white space here is going to get filled up tomorrow morning when I plan my day. Thursday's already booked. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday's already booked. Now imagine if you live like this, how much further you can get if you use your time more effectively. Now, I have whole videos on how to use your calendar more effectively, but this is a cheat code in life. This is how I became successful. If you take one thing from me, it's plan out every hour of every day in your calendar and use that hour and deploy it against your goals. Use that time to chase victory. This is how you start lapping motherfuckers. You do this shit for a year, I promise you, motherfuckers will look at you like you're a different person. And you can plan everything. It doesn't have to just be work. The beauty of the calendar is you can choreograph your whole life. So I got time with my girlfriend here. I got time with my son in here. I got time with my friends. I got sleep time. I got eat time. I got my workout. Everything that's important is in the calendar. Some people think it's weird to plan time with your family or to plan time with your friends or to plan time with your girlfriend. It's uncommon and maybe it is a little strange. But if it's for me, I think, no, it's in my calendar because it's important. The shit that's not in my calendar is not important. Call of Duty Mobile, it's not in my calendar. You know what I'm saying? Smash Bros, it's not in my calendar, right? Because it's not what? Important. The important shit should be in your calendar. And the beauty of using your calendar is you can choreograph your life. Maybe you don't want to work as much as me. Even if you just wanted more time with your family, start using your calendar, plan out every hour, every day, you'll find more time to spend with these motherfuckers. I can look at your calendar and I can tell your future. And most of your shit is blank. And that's why you ain't never going to be successful. And it's not weird once you get to different levels. Once you get to high levels, like my millionaire friends, when we want to do something together, one of us is going to send a calendar invite almost all the time. It seems normal to you because you and all your friends are poor boys. You ain't out here getting it. Y'all ain't millionaires. But at the high levels, this is what it looks like. My boy Jeremy, he makes like $1 million a month. And we were talking about going to dinner. Yo, let's get the girls and go to dinner. Like his girlfriend and my girlfriend, we was all gonna go to dinner together, right? He was like, when? I was like, I gave him some times that worked for me. And then he said, where you want to go? I was like, Mastro's, you know the gang. You know, my favorite restaurant. And then I got a calendar invite from him. I was like, bet. I was excited to get that. It's normal at the super high levels. I'm telling you, this is how you set yourself apart. And here's the thing. We want to talk about eliminating vices, right? You don't have to go through fucking no crazy hoops. Oh, should I do a dopamine detox or an ayahuasca retreat? Whatever the motherfucking nerds is telling you to do. Fuck that shit, bro. Just crowd it out, right? Look at my calendar. When am I going to do some bullshit? I don't even got time to chase no hoes if that's the type of shit I was on. When I'm gonna smoke weed and get high, you just crowd it out. You don't even have to do nothing exotic to eliminate vices. Just crowd it out. Replace it with other shit. And you do that over a long enough period of time, the cravings will go away. And this will become normal. Anything you do is habit forming. One more thing you can do to get more time is to actually buy time. So me and my boy Dan Martell, he was on the podcast. He wrote a book called Buy Back Your Time. And I was telling him this is a philosophy that I've been implementing my whole life. And people were clowning me on it, right? Because I would say that I pay people to do things so I can get more time back. I guess once a white man comes out with a book about it, everybody thinks it's cool, right? And then it's fine. Now it's a bestseller when he talks about it. But when I say it, I get ridiculed. But Dan's my boy, so I'm glad the message is getting out there. You can buy time. First in your business, but also in your personal life. Like Dan's book is about buying back time in your business. I think you should start with your personal life. You know, let's say you're making, your hourly rate from your business or your side hustle or whatever. Let's say you're making $50 an hour from your side hustle. That's your hourly rate. Boom. Right? You want to clean your house. It takes you 2 hours. Now you could do it yourself, right? But what if you paid someone to do it? This chick could clean your crib for $30 an hour. Cool, man. She got some reviews. There's mad people who do this shit for cheap, man. So we're going to go with this chick. Now, let's say instead of paying her $30 an hour to clean your crib, you clean it yourself. How much money did you save? Think about it. Some of you are thinking, oh, I saved $60. No, asshole. You lost money. Because if you make $50 an hour, getting someone else to clean it is $60, right? But instead, you pay someone $60 an hour, right? And you work during that time while they cleaning. That's what I do. I'm going to have a fucking team of immigrants in here cleaning it tomorrow because it's a big credit. And I'm going to be working the whole time. You pay $60, but you make $100 during that hour, right? Boom. That leaves you with a net of $40. Boom. You bought some time. You made $40. If you do it yourself, you lose $40. These numbers get big. Let's say your hourly rate is $100 an hour. Then the numbers start getting crazy, right? But you can make $200 during those 2 hours. Boom. Now you made $140, right? So if you did it yourself, you wouldn't save fucking $60. It would cost you $140. This is what I'm saying. Buy time. I did this before I was rich, right? Those of you know my story, my father committed suicide when I was 24. It was 2007. It was right before the recession that started in 08 when Lehman Brothers and all that shit crashed. We had record unemployment. People with master's degrees was working at Starbucks, so I couldn't even get a job even though I had a college degree. So I just started working mad hours per day, 80 hours a week. Right, I woke up at 4 a.m., trained people in the morning. Then I showered in the gyms, went to the Prada store, worked at the Prada store for 8 hours. Then I worked for my boys' moving company after it, right? And then on the weekends, I would train people in the morning and managed a barbecue restaurant in Queens. It was on Steinway Street. Those years, all just because I was working, I made fucking 6 figures, 2 years, right? I had to buy time. I still had to clean my house. I still had to prep my food. I started online training while I was doing that. So I needed to buy even more time. So there's only so many hours in each day. Because when I talk about working a lot, people be like, oh man, but what about fucking food and cleaning and all that shit? What about using the bathroom? It's like, shut up. First of all, you ain't in the fucking bathroom 20 hours a week. Shut up, right? But you do got to do other shit. You got to clean. Let's say you got to cook. Say you got to do what? Laundry. You got to wash dishes. Listen, none of this shit makes you money, right? None of this shit is helping you accomplish your goals, right? If you start making some progress and you get your hourly rate to a point, the first thing you need to do is stop doing laundry. This was one of the first things I did. Boom. I just hit up and there was this fucking Asian place in Queens, man. Chinese dude would come pick up my laundry and bring it back. It was better than what I would do because he would fold it. You know how many times I folded underwear in my life? Probably none, right? It would be folded and the socks would all match. And he'd do it better than me. But I can work while this motherfucker's doing my laundry. I stopped cooking. Boom. You can get meal prep. You can order food. Yo, man, people spend so much time cooking. I stopped cooking and I stopped getting groceries, right? Any groceries I needed, I just had it delivered. They had Fresh Direct, was the first people doing that shit. But the grocery store by the crib used to do it. I had it delivered and I could work during that time. I didn't cook. I did meal prep. You know, little shit that I would need. Motherfucking, I don't know, man, cheese or some shit. It would be in the crib. Sardines, almonds. I had that shit delivered. Then I would meal prep. Boom. Ben stopped doing dishes. This is when I was starting out and I had other people doing this shit. Or I didn't wash dishes. I just bought all fucking paper and plastic shit. What about the environment? Shut up. All right, we trying to get rich. You fucking washing your fork ain't saving no whales. Stop playing. If you really care about the fucking whales, make some money and you can do whatever you want, man. Save all the whales, man. I stopped washing dishes and I stopped cooking. And I stopped cleaning, went on TaskRabbit. It was even cheaper in Queens than it is in Miami because it's based off location. I was getting this shit for like $20 an hour. And now I bought time back. It only works though if you use this time to go after your goals. You could do it to spend more time with your family, right? Whatever you want to do. You just don't need to be doing the shit that's not helping you towards your goals, right? All I want to do is make money and spend time with my friends and family. That's all only things I really want to do. Everything I'm doing needs to be in pursuit of those objectives. And cooking, fucking cleaning, groceries, you don't have to do that. You can pay someone else to do that. You may say, oh, you're lazy. No, dumbass. I'm doing it so I can work more. Even now, when I was in Manhattan, New York, I didn't drive because I could work in the Uber. I closed deals in the Uber. People would make fun of me for that, man. But yo, my son lived in Queens and I lived in Manhattan. It would be like 45-minute drive each way, maybe an hour if it's traffic. Fucking 2 hours. I'm gonna work those 2 hours and just take an Uber. I'm netting more money. Even though I spent money to buy the time, I'm netting money. And you supporting all these people, man. The chick who cleans our crib, man, she has her own company and she hires a bunch of other chicks and she's got a family. You know what I'm saying? Like, we help support our family. We help support the economy, right? These people who have to deliver the Uber Eats or the groceries or do the laundry, man, we support these people, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you supporting the economy, you helping other businesses, you helping other people out. You do it yourself to save money. Poor people focus on saving money. Rich people focus on saving time because we know that time is more valuable. The next thing that's holding you is you're not tracking your income and you're not tracking your spending. So here's how you get rich. You make more than you spend and you invest the difference. And over a long enough period of time, you will get rich. That's what I did. I made more than I spent for fucking almost 10 years. I don't know exactly when I made my first $1 million. I don't remember the exact date because I'm old, but it was my early 30s. I started grinding like this at 24 after my father killed himself. I made more than I spent, right? If you watch my old videos, I wasn't wearing Richard Milles, Cartier bracelet. I was wearing an Apple Watch, some Jordans, and some joggers. And I did that shit for fucking years. Go back, watch some of the old ones. I'm living in a small apartment in Queens. And when I started making some real bread, I moved into the Upper West Side. But I was still living well below my means, right? I was a fucking millionaire when I moved to the Upper West Side, right? So fuck it. I was living in Queens when I was grinding. Let me just show you the power of this. So this is a compound interest calculator. Let's just say $2,000 a month. Let's say you start with $2,000 and you invest $2,000 a month. How do you get $2,000 a month? Remember I said, man, fucking work, man, work more, buy time so you can work more, right? You do this shit for fucking 20 years. Just S&P 500, nothing exotic. Return on the S&P 500 is about 10%. So you do that for 20 years, you were a millionaire. In fact, you was a millionaire at year 18. Every time I do this example, some dumbass says, what about inflation? Shut up. $1 million is $1 million. Even if it's not worth as much fucking 20 years from now, you'll be happy you had $1 million. And if you're so concerned about inflation, it stands to reason you really need to make more money, dumbass. That's for your dumbass comment you would think about leaving. Go fuck yourself. I hate you. All right, that's small change. It's not even like real money. What I want you to do is to really track every dollar you make and every dollar you spend. I just ask entrepreneurs, man, how much money you make last month? And they don't even know, bro. You'd be surprised how many you don't know. How much money you spend last month? Motherfuckers be like, I don't know. I used to use some shit called mint.com. I got videos from 10 years ago talking about using mint.com where I track every dollar I spend and every dollar I make. Now, mint.com closed down. We use Monarch. We track every dollar we make, every dollar we spend, and we make sure we cutting the bullshit, and we make sure we tracking our spending, because what gets measured gets managed. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it. Listen, I ran one entrepreneur through this shit, and we found this motherfucker spent $60,000 on bitches in like less than a year. And not like prostitutes, like flying bitches places, going on dates, you know what I'm saying, buying them shit. He didn't even know he spent that much. It's super eye-opening when I run entrepreneurs through this. But anyway, once you have that set up, then you're going to use what's called N.B.A. accounting. The reason I don't know exactly for what year I made my first million, we knew we made a million, but when I looked in my bank account, I didn't have $1 million in it. I knew I had made $1 million in revenue, but it wasn't in my account. Like, where'd all the money go? And I was like, fuck, I need to find a better way. So I read a book called Profit First, and that talked about how to fix things for my business, but I needed one for my personal accounting too. And this is what it looks like. You want to have 5 accounts. So you have account number 1, which is your income. So 100% of your money goes in here. And it doesn't matter what the sources are from. Like, it can be from your job, side hustle. If you got different side hustles, you know, for me, I got different businesses. I got different revenue streams. All of them go in the same account. This is where the money gets collected. There's no automatic payments coming out of this account. There's no debit card associated with it. It's just to collect the money. Then you distribute that money into 4 other accounts. And these accounts are your investment account. Remember, you got to make more than you spend and invest the difference. So you got to put that money aside. Then you have operations, right? This is the account you live out. Look, this is where you have your automatic payments. So you do all your spending is out of here. Then you have one for taxes, because Uncle Sam gonna get that money. And then you have one for baller. I'll explain what all these is. So investments, whatever your investment vehicle is, remember, to get rich, you gotta make more than you would spend and invest the difference. So we gotta put that money aside first. This is gonna be 50% of your income goes in here. You may be thinking, damn, I can't make that much. Shut up. You're gonna be working 80 hours a week. I'll explain how that works. Unless you got like 30 kids or some shit. I didn't tell you to have all them kids. Should have used a condom. Too late for you now. All right, just give up. Anyway, 50% of your income gets invested. This is why it's called N.B.A. accounting. It stands for never broke again. If you invest 50% of every dollar you make, you can't go broke. Then operations, 30%. So we're going to be living off 30% of your income. I can't do that. Well, dumbass, you're going to make more money. And you're going to be tracking all your spending so you can cut the unnecessary expenses. You fucking dummy. Taxes going to be 15%. Some people say, man, that's too low, right? No, I'm in the 37% tax bracket. And I left New York State to save money on taxes, right? You know what I'm saying? That's why I live in those state income tax. So my federal tax is around 30%. But when you have a business, you get a lot of write-offs. You got a fire-ass accountant like me. You make it more if you want. Who gives a fuck, right? Then baller account, 5%. This is where you're going to spend on dumb shit. You got to reward yourself. Baller account, this is where you buy yourself a watch, get you a Gucci belt, get some Jordans, shit you don't need. You know what I'm saying? What it is, this makes you fucking work harder if you doing anything entrepreneurial. Because damn, you can only live off 30% of your income. So that means what? You got to make more money. Every dollar you make, remember, you're putting more aside to investments. That's how you get rich. And then you're covering R.A.S. and then you can buy cool shit. So let's say, man, you want to buy you fucking Gucci belt. It's $400. You can get yourself the Gucci belt, man. Just know that you have to make $8,000 to afford it. And that's okay. 400 is 5% of 8,000. So you got to make $8,000 to buy that Gucci belt. No problem. But the beauty of that is you end up putting $4,000 in your investment. So when you do that, so this motivates you to make more money. And now check this out. You may be thinking, man, I can't do this. Yes, you can, nigga. Let me show you. So the average American makes $50,000 a year. It may be changed by the time you watch this video, right? But the average American also works less than 40 hours a week. Like, according to actual Bureau of Labor Statistics, their stats say that the average American works about 37 hours per week. We're going to work 80 hours a week. Remember, we talked about using your calendar and buying time. You may be thinking, man, I can't work 80 hours. Well, you're going to buy time, you're going to use your calendar. Let me show you how this works. So listen, asshole, there's 168 hours in every week. You work 80 hours a week. You still got 88 hours left. But of course, you got to sleep. If you sleep 8 hours a night, I'm not telling you to sacrifice sleep, that's 56 hours, right? Boom. We subtract that from the 88. Boom. Now you are left with 32 hours. Boom, you still got time to fuck around, play grab ass, do whatever you want with those 30 hours. I don't give a fuck what you want to do, man. Oh, what about sleeping? What about fucking groceries and all that shit? I told your dumb ass to stop doing that shit earlier, right? Now you can spend all those 32 hours with your kids if you want, or your family. You motherfuckers ain't spending 32 hours a week with your kids now. I know that, unless they fucking babies. You're not doing it now. Fucking kids gotta sleep like 10, 12 hours a night. Like cats. Then they go to school. Then they got homework, after school programs, sports, their own fucking friends. They don't want to kick it with your old ass like that. You ain't got 32 hours to spend with your kids now. And even if you did, they wouldn't want to spend that much time with you. They got shit to do. Kids is busy, man. My son just got his second belt with the nunchucks. He ain't got time to be fucking around. He got Roblox to play. He got school, after school programs. He ain't got shit to do. he ain't got 32 hours to spend with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's good. You should be busy. He out here balling for a little kid. Yeah, he got Legos to build. I mean, we be building Legos together. Don't get it fucked up. Me and we be building this shit. All types of shit you could never dream about, nigga. Anyway. Spend as much time. You still got 32 hours to do whatever you want. It's just mad. But that's where the calendar comes in. Fucking plan it. Use your calendar. If your calendar don't look like mine, shut the fuck up, man. You don't even know how much time you have. If the average American is working fucking just under 40 hours a week, making 50, it stands to reason, hey, you work 80, you should be able to double that shit. Now, we go to that compound interest calculator, let's put in some fucking real numbers. You double that shit, 6 figures. That's what I did during the recession. After my father killed himself, I just worked motherfucking labor jobs, fucking security, working for moving companies, managing a restaurant. Sometimes I had to fucking cook and clean. When we had to fire motherfuckers, you know, I just did that shit, in-person training. I made 6 figures. You can, during a recession, you can do it too, motherfucker. And you invest half of it, 4166, right? Boom. Calculate that shit. Oh shit, 20 years you were fucking multi-millionaire. On some real shit, you made your first million in 10 years. And that's with fucking modest returns, average returns. If you invested in something like your business, you could really fucking turn this shit up. But whatever, I'm being as modest as possible. That's what it takes, right? If you really want to get rich, it's going to take you like 10 years. Unless you do something super risky, you know. That's what I did. You are 10 years. Now I'm rich. Make more than you spend and invest the difference. The more you make above what you spend, the more you have to invest, the more profit you have. The longer you do it, the more money you make. That's how you get rich. Anyone can do it. And then the third thing that's stopping you from getting this money is focusing on short-term results. All right, you guys are too focused on short-term. You want everything to happen now, but sometimes things just take time. Like some of you got discouraged when I said 10 years. 10 years is not a whole lot of time. It may feel like a long time to you if you're 20 because it's 50% of the life you lived so far. You probably don't even remember half of that time, right? So it's like when you have short-term focus, you do things for immediate gratification, or you do things to rush time, or you make bad decisions. In almost all cases, things that you enjoy now are typically bad for you long-term, and the things that are good for you long-term are typically less enjoyable now, right? I just said work 80 hours a week and make more money than you spend and invest half of it for 10 years. Long-term, you'll be great. I got proved it, right? But short-term, it's going to take what? Sacrifice. And a lot of times, young people are just not willing to sacrifice what they want now for what they want most. If you're not willing to sacrifice for your goals, that's fine. You just got to understand that your goals become the sacrifice. What is the sacrifice either way? You could either sacrifice momentary pleasure, dopamine, or you can sacrifice your potential, right? You got to decide. And sometimes when I say stuff like this, I get comments like, oh, you're wasting your best time of your life in your 20s. No, motherfucker. My 30s were the best time of my life because I was rich and I was in great shape and I was still looking young, right? My 40s are looking like they're going to be even better. I'm 42 now. They're looking like they're even better. If you're in great shape, man, it's all good. If you take care of your body, if you're healthy, your 20s should not be the best time of your life. Your 20s are the time where you have the most capacity to work hard and deploy against your goals. History is riddled with people who are in their 30s, 40s, or even 50s who just look back and regret, man, damn, I wish I didn't waste all that time. Because they'd be set up and said they're fucking struggling to pay bills. And now they can't fucking go hard because now they got a bunch of responsibilities. They got a wife, they got a bunch of kids, they got shit going on, and they just don't have as much energy. I'm super energetic, more energetic than you, but less than when I was 25. You know what I'm saying? You wasting your prime energy on bullshit as opposed to deploying it against your goals to set you and your family up forever, right? If you can deploy that energy when you have the most energy and when you have the least amount of responsibilities and you're able to take risk, you can really set yourself up, you and your family, for the future, right? Had I not done this in my 20s, I wouldn't be able to take care of my mom now. I wouldn't be able to take care of my son the way I do, right? I wouldn't be able to take care of my niece and nephew when their dad died 2 years ago. I wouldn't be able to be a real man right now. The man's supposed to protect and provide. I wouldn't be able to do the providing part had I not sacrificed the momentary pleasure in my 20s. But I didn't look at it as sacrifice. I was like, man, I got all this energy. I got all this time. I got all these resources. Man, I can deploy them against my goals. And then in the future, my future self will thank me. And I do. I thank that little nigga all the time for grinding like that. But you also build habits. So now I still work 80 hours a week, but it doesn't feel like work no more because I worked hard. And now, one, I love what I do. I enjoy it, so it doesn't seem arduous. And I built a habit, so it's easy for me to put in that kind of work. You want to start working hard when you're 35? Get the fuck out of here. No, motherfucker. You're going to be changing diapers and dealing with some bitch who's yelling at you for anything. Instead, when you could have been fucking setting yourself up for the future, bro. It's a fucking big problem. All this enjoy life shit. Some of us enjoy life by focusing on building up our potential. Some of us enjoy life by seeing how hard we can push ourselves. Some of us enjoy life by trying to be the best we can be instead of trying to chase as much dopamine as possible. Because you waste all that dopamine on empty victories, man. Chasing these hoes, parties, vices, drugs, empty victories. And you're going to be fucking my age, 42, with nothing to show for it but a bunch of fucking funny stories. That's all you're going to have to show for it. And you're going to fucking wish you listened to me today. Focus on long-term goals. Because if you're not willing to sacrifice for your goals, then your goals become the sacrifice. It's a sacrifice either way. Don't think you're not making a sacrifice. You are sacrificing either way. Do you want to sacrifice momentary pleasure, or do you want to sacrifice victory? Those are your choices. I wish I would have ended the video right there because I fucking killed it. But I got 2 more tips to tell you. Let's see if I can match that same level of awesomeness with the next 2. The 4th thing that's stopping you from accomplishing your goals is being fucking negative, man. I'm not one of these guys telling you to just be positive, be positive. I'm saying don't be negative. There's a difference. You got to really watch your language because your language is just your thoughts verbalized. I was feeling a little sleepy earlier today because I'm old. I'm getting up there, guys. Right? And instead of saying I'm sleepy, I said, I need to get more energy. If there's something I want to buy and it's expensive, I don't say, man, I ain't got the money for that right now. I would say, yo, I got to get some more money. I don't even say I'm hungry. I'm like, yo, I got to get something to eat. Like I'm super cognizant of my language. And let me show you why that's important. There was a baseball player. His name was Bill Buckner. And this guy had won awards. I think he won the Cy Young Award or the Walter Payton Award or some shit. I don't know, man. I don't fuck with baseball, right? But anyway, he won a bunch of awards. He was a good baseball player. And he was going to be in the World Series. And this motherfucker Bill Buckner said, the dreams are that you're going to have a great series and win. The nightmares is that you'll let the winning run score on a ground ball through your leg. Things like that happen, you know? It's just fake. Guess what happened? I'll show you.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight.
This motherfucker, exactly what he said was going to happen. I'm not saying he manifested it. I'm not saying Bill Buckner is Professor Xavier. What I am saying is that, yo, listen, when you speak negative, it imprints it on your subconscious mind. When you talk negatively. For example, whatever you think about, you're going to feel and you're going to notice more, right? This is how it works. There's a part of your brain called the reticular activation system. It's located in your brain stem. And it's the part of your brain that's responsible for what you observe, right? Because there's so many sounds and colors and textures and things going on in the world. There's no way we can pay attention to everything. And your R.A.S decides on what you will notice. Otherwise, you go crazy. There's too many sensations going around all the time. Here's how this has happened in your life. And we've all had this experience. You or one of your friends gets a new car. You start seeing that motherfucker everywhere, right? But you're not an X-Man. You didn't attract it. It was there the whole time. You just didn't notice it. But as soon as somebody gets it, it activates your reticular activation system. And now you see them all the time. But they were there the whole time. You were just blinded to them because they weren't there. So this is why language is so important. Because if you say, I can't afford it, you're going to see more reasons why you can't afford it, right? But if you say, I got to make more money, you're going to see more opportunities to get money. And both things are true. You can't afford it and you need to make more money. Both are true. But one, you sound like a fucking bitch, waving the white flag, giving up. The other one, you sound like, I'm about to go out here and get it. I need to make more money. Let's go. Who would you bet on? The guy who said, I ain't got enough money. Or the guy who says, man, I need to get more money. Just who would you bet on? Who would you want in your corner if you were trying to accomplish a goal? You got to be that person all the time. I don't even let people say try around me, because try implies that, hey, I might win, I might lose. We'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we'll see what happens. Like a dork in my coaching program, if somebody says, yeah, I'm trying to get, I say, what? Use the T word around here? Don't use that profanity around us. Don't bring that negative energy in here, right? We don't say try, man. We not try babies. We gonna do it. We gonna do it or we not. Oh yeah, I just don't know. Of course you don't know, motherfucker, because you a bitch and you keep talking like a bitch. Say you gonna get it. We don't say try. We don't say, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We not try babies. We going after it. Because if you try, if you say I'm gonna try, you're gonna pussyfoot. You're gonna half step, right? Ain't no half step. All right. We gonna go all in, right? And if you go all out, you will accomplish your goals. I've never seen somebody go all out and fail. Everybody I know who fails at something pussyfoots. And when I say all out, talking about, hey, what does your calendar look like? How many hours did you put in there? Did you do all you can do to accomplish that goal? All you can do every day. That's not working hard. That's not hustling. That's not working hard, because you can work hard and it's still not all you can do. And it's like, yeah, I'm going after it. Sometimes I'm putting in a lot of work. That's not a lot of work. I said all you can do each day. Did you do that, motherfucker? No, you did not. And that's why you failed. If you did that, if you did all you can do each day, that's not fucking trying. That's determination. That motherfucker's gonna win. Most of you motherfuckers have never done all you can do each day to accomplish one of your goals. Because if you did that, you would have fucking got it. I've never seen somebody do that and fail. You may be thinking, oh yeah, I see someone do it and they failed. No, they did not do all they can do every day. They did a lot sometimes. They might have worked hard sometimes, but working hard is not doing all you can do. I'm talking capacity, all right? You motherfuckers were fucking around, doing other shit. Hey, everything in moderation. Gotta have balance. Talking all that pussy shit, you know what I'm saying? Batman did all he could do each day. Are you going after it all like you want some Batman shit? Are you on your Batman shit or not? No. And that's why you ain't fucking hitting your goals, right? That's what happens when you try. We not try babies. Watch your language. Never say you can't afford it. Say, I gotta find a way to get more money. Let's go. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Never say you're fucking tired. If you're tired, you might as well be retired. You want to say, man, I need to get more energy, because you'll find ways to get more energy, right? I didn't take a nap, even though I didn't have as much energy as I wanted. I don't even want to say I was tired, right? You know what I'm saying? I didn't have as much energy as I wanted. So I found some ways to get more energy. I did some Wim Hof breathing. I fucking got on my exercise bike. I jumped on my trampoline, took some caffeine. Then I got after it. As you can see, I don't look tired to you motherfuckers. Both things are true. I'm tired and I need to get more energy. But one sounds like you're going after it. The other one sounds like you're about to give up, waving the white flag. Like, oh, this is what you need to do. Don't be negative. This also means you got to stay away from negative people, right? Because emotions are contagious. Remember your homie got the new car and you start seeing that car everywhere? What happens when your boy starts talking bullshit about all his problems? What are you going to see? Fucking problems. Well, let's say your boy's talking about business opportunities, money, ways to get more money. What do you think you're going to see? If he can get a fucking car and then you start seeing a car everywhere, what do you think happens when he talks about his problems? Stay away from negative people, or don't let people talk like that around you. Like, I just don't let people talk about it around me. Oh, I'm trying to do this. What? You try, baby? Oh man, I ain't got no money. Hey, don't say that. Everybody I know, they know that if they say something to me, when they're talking bad about themselves, I say, hey, don't say anything about yourself you don't want to be true. I say that all the time. My inner circle, they know better. The fifth thing that's stopping you from accomplishing goals is you afraid to take risks, man. You afraid to try. You're scared of being embarrassed. You're scared of failure. But you need to understand that failure is necessary. Failure is actually a part of it. I talked about this in another video. In Ray Dalio's book, he talked about to accomplish goals, it always looks like this. Almost no one succeeds at first. First, you set goals. Ray Dalio is one of the richest men in the world. He started the largest hedge fund of all time, Bridgewater Capital. He wrote a book called Principles that I suggest you all read. You set goals, then you fail. He said it was actually a part of it. It's a part of the process. But once you fail, you learn. And then that learning, that's when you start to accomplish things, and then you set more goals. This part is critical, the failure and the learning. So yeah, you might fail, but failure doesn't last forever. And then you just keep doing this loop. That's what success looks like. A series of failures followed by success. So don't be scared to fail. Know you're going to fail. Know you're going to encounter hardships. Anything worth having is not fucking easy. Stop being a bitch. You never heard about somebody just fucking going after the goal and everything was easy. It was the unbroken boulevard of green lights and they just hit success. That shit don't even happen in Hollywood. And here's the thing, the failure, it makes your story better. The reason Endgame and Infinity War are so good is because they fail, right? That's what made the movie good. If they just beat Thanos' ass in the first 10 minutes of the movie, it wouldn't have been the highest grossing movie of all time. The failure made the story better. What kind of story are you telling? Your story is, oh man, I saw something I wanted, but I was scared that I might lose, so I didn't even go after it. That movie would suck. You're the main character in the movie of your life. You write the script. Are you writing the fucking script worth watching? Or you writing some fucking whack shit? And it's okay to be scared. You don't need less fear. You need more courage. Because courage means, even though it's scary, even though you might fail, and you will probably fail, you'll probably have to fail a few times to get to your goal, that's okay. What's not okay is being a bitch. Because one day, you're going to tell your kids, oh, you can do whatever you want, right? And they're going to look at you and they're going to think, damn, Dad, is this all you wanted? You said I could be anything. Is this all you wanted? Until he's not going to believe he can do anything. And you're going to teach generational pussyfooting. You're going to be breeding bitches. You're going to be growing a tribe of bitches. Because he's going to learn the pussyfoot from you no matter what you say. He's not going to mimic what you say. He's going to mimic what you do. And if you grow up to be a bitch, he's going to see that, and it doesn't matter what you say to him, he's not going to believe he can do it because you a bitch. If you tell him he can be whatever he wants to be, he ain't going to believe it because you didn't go after what you would. This ain't what you wanted, Dad. I know this wasn't your dream. He's going to know. You can't bullshit him. However, if you went after your goals, if you really went after your dreams and you accomplished them and you say that, oh, then it means something. You can make a bigger impression on the little motherfucker, man. He'll believe in himself more because his fucking dad did it. And when he fails, you're going to be able to tell him to keep going because you failed and kept going. And you'll tell him the story and he'll be inspired and he'll believe that he can keep going. And he doesn't have to give up. And he doesn't have to quit. And now when you raise a champion, but you got to be one first. If you're single, your dream girl, I would imagine she doesn't want a guy like that. A guy who cowers in the face of adversity. That's not the guy she's dreaming about. Therefore, you're going to have to settle for the woman who's willing to settle for that type of motherfucker. Because even 4s and 5s don't want a bitch motherfucker, but they know they got to settle for him. So now you've made an appropriate match. That's who you'll mate with. If you're watching this, a lot of you guys want to make it in the fitness industry because that's how I made my first money. I have a free ebook called The 10 Commandments of Online Training. You can download the link in the description and put you on the right path. If that's one of your goals, to start your online fitness business, click that link in the description and check it out. It's free. And also, earlier I said I wasn't sure if I'd be able to do number 4 and 5 as good as I did 3. I shouldn't have never doubted myself. That's the lesson right there. Don't doubt yourself, man, because I fucking did that shit.